Ridicule LLC presents a Molière celebration. In November 2025, after more than 230 years rattling around America's pockets, couch cushions, and supermarket take-a-penny, leave-a-penny trays, the United States Mint quietly stopped producing the humble penny. Thus ends the long career of a coin that has been both a symbol of thrift and a monument to fiscal absurdity. For years, economists and accountants pointed out the obvious. It cost more than 1 cent to produce 1 cent. The government, in effect, was minting money at a loss, a financial magic trick that would earn any private business a swift appointment with bankruptcy court. At long last, the penny has followed the iron law of economics. When something costs more to make than it's worth, eventually the penny drops. And so the Molière Citations team marks the occasion with a celebration, not of the penny's demise, but of the overdue recognition that arithmetic still matters. For generations, Americans were raised on penny proverbs. A penny saved is a penny earned. A penny for your thoughts? Pennies from heaven. Not worth 1 red cent. A bad penny always turns up. Yet the federal government managed to create a new one. A penny minted is a penny lost. By the early 2020s, the U.S. Mint was reportedly losing several cents on every penny produced, a triumph of accounting creativity worthy of the most imaginative bureaucracies. Even the most sentimental defenders of the coin had difficulty explaining why taxpayers should subsidize the production of a coin worth less than the metal and labor required to produce it. The penny's demise was not sudden. For years, the coin had been fading quietly from daily life. Retailers rounded prices. Cashiers waved customers past the change tray. Americans increasingly paid with cards, phones, and invisible digital entries in distant servers. The penny lingered mostly out of inertia, and perhaps nostalgia for a simpler time when a child could buy something meaningful with a coin bearing Abraham Lincoln's profile. But in the age of trillion-dollar deficits, sentimentality has limits. Eventually, someone in Washington remembered the first rule of finance: if the numbers don't add up, stop digging. Ending penny production will not solve the national debt, cure inflation, or repair the federal budget. But it does represent something rarer in modern governance, an admission that policy should occasionally acknowledge reality. For decades, critics called the penny a symbol of waste, the fiscal equivalent of sweeping copper dust under a trillion-dollar rug. Now, at least, the charade has ended. In the language of satire, the penny's disappearance represents the moment when the accountants finally caught up with the comedians. The death of the penny leaves behind a paradox. The coin once symbolized thrift, responsibility, and the virtue of saving small amounts that eventually accumulate into something meaningful. Yet its continued production represented precisely the opposite, spending resources to create something less valuable than the resources themselves. Perhaps the best epitaph comes from the oldest cliché of all. Take care of the pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves. Unfortunately, Washington spent decades ignoring that advice. And so the Molière Citations team raises a modest copper toast. Not to the coin itself, which served honorably for 232 years, but to the rare moment when government officials finally conceded that even a penny's worth of arithmetic cannot be ignored forever. After all, in matters of public finance, as in life, eventually the penny drops. If you have enjoyed this video, we ask that you like and subscribe to our Ridicule LLC channel and consider joining our newsletter at MolièreCitations.com.